But when they're in school, when they're on teams, that type of thing, they're using their identified gender, their name, their appropriate name, and their pronouns. And this does require some participation from the school. So social transition means that a trans kid is able to use their identified pronoun, their identified name, and they do the activities that they seek out. Now, this does take some cooperation from the school and, of course, from the family, but it's been well established that kids who are supported by their families and by school will do very well in their social transitions. Now, then we get to the age of middle school, and around middle school comes puberty with its special challenges. So puberty brings a lot of changes in maturity, and this, of course, is going to vary widely in terms of kids' heights and their physical development. Defining changes, though, begin to happen, and these include the defining changes of menstrual periods and breast development for people who are assigned female, and of course the deeper voice and the Adam's apple for somebody who is assigned male. If a child believed that their gender would somehow correct as they grew up, this is when they find that that isn't going to happen. Now, I have another presentation about puberty and puberty blockers and such, so please watch that for more specific information about middle school kids in puberty. Now, transgender puberty is very important because it's a time when kids can feel afraid, they can feel alone, and they can feel trapped in the wrong gender that's not going to change without significant help. This is when we may see depression developing, we may see anxiety, sometimes we see things like self-harm behaviors like cutting, for example. We see isolation from other kids, and we sometimes will see suicidal thinking. Again, a very important time to be aware of how kids are doing and feeling. And I always put in a plug for the 988 crisis line for mental health crises. If you see a kid who's in danger, this is the place to call immediately. High school and college age kids also have many transitions. Their identity develops not only in terms of their gender and gender roles, if that's a thing, but also in terms of their careers and educational pursuits. This is the age when kids start to be doing medical things on their own. By the time they turn 18, of course, they're able to legally make their own medical decisions. But sometimes it may be the first time that a kid has ever made their own medical decisions. They don't know how to get a prescription filled. They don't know how to take medications and that type of thing. So it's an interesting time to help coach kids through these processes. When they're seeking hormones, and earlier even when they're seeking a puberty blocker, kids are often called upon to make fertility decisions. And of course, it's a very young age to do that, but we do the best we can. Adults who identify as transgender, they may transition at any age, but what a person will do depends on what their family situation is like, what their work situation is like. This recognition can be very freeing to people. It's thank goodness I really have figured out what it is that I've been feeling all these years. But there is a cost to transition, and sometimes that cost comes in the form of families that don't stay together or partners that may not stay together. It's a difficult time, but it's a very important one to navigate, and we can help people navigate these times. I always tell people that there's not only are there costs with transitioning, but there can also be large costs when it comes to not transitioning also. My oldest patient started on hormone treatments at the age of 78. And I thought that that was very interesting. Not only was the person finally getting their hormones, but it struck me how sad it was that this person had lived so long without living their life in the way that they would have intended to do. So I think that, again, we will see transitions at any age. There are pros and cons to this, but the most important thing is, can a person live in their authentic life? And what can we as healthcare providers do to support that? If this video is helpful to you or interesting to you in some way, please like the video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.